Guys, quick, subscribe to the channel in the next 10 seconds or nothing is actually going to happen. Honestly, like only 20% of you guys who watch my content are subscribed, so if you really want to support me as a creator, just please consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video. That's actually all it asks for you to do. It's completely free. You can always unsubscribe in the future if you don't enjoy my content anymore. Just please give me a chance. Yo guys, what is going on? It's your boy Fxtch here, back with a brand new YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys how you can actually improve and get better mechanics within Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 4. Of course, the methods I will show within this video will work for literally any season of Fortnite, any chapter of Fortnite. For the most part, they will still correlate, translate between seasons. But of course, the game changes a lot, the meta changes, and some things may be a little bit different. But for the most part, this should help just generally for Fortnite Battle Royale. So in today's video, I'm going to cover everything from building, editing, and aim. They're like the 3 core mechanics of Fortnite. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that and basically just giving you some tips and technique to just simply get better mechanics. It's that simple. Now, if I go ahead to help you in any way in this video, the least you can do for me is just slap that like button. Really does support the channel. Something as simple as dropping a like takes 2 seconds. It goes a very long way and pushes my channel out to further people. It's kind of the least you can do, and again, it really does help out. If you want to go the extra mile, you can also subscribe to the channel, post notifications turned on, therefore you never miss an upload on my channel. We are on that push to 60,000 subscribers, and I feel like we can get there very fast. And if everyone on this video subscribes, we'll literally hit that. So getting straight into this, the first thing I want to mention or speak about is the actual term mechanics, and just define that for you guys. Now this is going to be a textbook Google definition. I'm just going to read it from Google. It just wraps it up in the best way possible. But as it says, in Fortnite, gamers feel competent because it is a game that involves many strengths including communication and coordination. There are 2 primary mechanics to master. One is aim and the other one is building. Now this is exactly right. Now I would argue that there are 3 mechanics in Fortnite. That would be building, editing, and aiming. I think building in this case, like for that definition, they kind of tied building and editing together, but building is separate, so is editing, and so is aim. Like they're like the 3 core mechanics of Fortnite, and to be deemed good mechanically or a very mechanical player, you basically just need to have all 3 of those kind of mastered. I know you can never really master anything in Fortnite, but in some way perfect it. Again, can't really perfect things in Fortnite. Like you can always get better, there's always room for improvement, but you just need to be good at all those 3 things tied into one. Now it's actually kind of confusing because a lot of people tend to associate the word mechanics with solely building and editing, so I'm guilty of that myself. And I would say, I don't know, people like Fxtch have insane mechanics. I never really factor in aim, and I only think about like Fxtch is an insane editor. He's super fast at editing, and his building is insane. So if I'm saying something like Fxtch has insane mechanics, I never actually factor in the aim to that. I'm kind of just thinking about building and editing. But yeah, aim is one of them, and I just want to make sure that is 100% clarified for this video. I'll be discussing how you can improve your aim and editing and building, or basic mechanics. But yeah, just so you know, it isn't just building and editing. Aim is involved. And now kind of just getting into this video will be a little bit jumbled up because I'll be going in between like how you can improve aim, how you can improve building, editing. You'll understand at the end, it all kind of ties together and it links. But the first thing I'm going to talk about, in some way this actually ties around the 3. I don't know about building, but this definitely does help improve both editing and aim, and that is actually going to be Osu. Now this may sound surprising for some. You guys may not heard this like name for a long time. At one point, Osu was a very big game or software people were using, a third-party software outside of Fortnite people were using to in particular improve their aim. Now if you guys do not know exactly what Osu is, the definition, again textbook definition for this, is Osu is a freeware rhythm game originally for Microsoft Windows. It's a PC game, so I'm pretty sure you can't play this on anything. I mean, if you're literally on PC, this isn't gonna work for console, right? So if you're on console, this will not help you. This only goes for you PC keyboard and mouse players. But it's a third-party application you download. It's actually free, so it's not like Kovacs on Steam which you have to actually pay for. This is free, and I don't think you download it on Steam. Like it's actually like its own thing. I'll link it down below so you guys can actually navigate to the site easier and just download it. It's an application you can play, and yeah, it's a rhythm game. And if you guys didn't already know, a lot of professional gamers or even like Fortnite players, I'm not sure if many Fortnite players are still on that trend, but I know a lot of Fortnite players were at one point, and they use Osu to practice aiming and improve their mouse skills. And now this is where we kind of tie in both editing and aiming. Now it's predominantly used to practice your aim, as usually you're using your mouse, or you can actually buy a tablet, but for the most part if you're just downloading this like from this video or you're new to it, you won't go out your way and get like one of those tablet things. I'll try and show a front screen like of the tablets or things people use to play this game. Like people literally play this thing super competitively with like these tablets and practice reaction. Like that's what it's for. It's to practice reaction times, and people usually use like proper tablets and literally compete in OSU. Like it's a very competitive game, and it doesn't have to be. Usually it can just be more of a fun, chill out, relaxing thing. And again, it can actually both improve aim and editing. Now, as I said, the way it improves aim is because you can play it with a mouse. So assuming you're not going to use a tablet and you are using your mouse, you literally just like click the screen. Literally it's all about reaction timing, and you're clicking the screen and you select like these. I can't even like, it's hard to explain what it is. I'll play gameplay in the background. Like you probably can see gameplay in the background right now of someone on OSU, but it's kind of one of those things that you kind of have to play and get the gist for. Like when you download the game, you get like a little tutorial that runs you through it. Like don't worry, I know it does look a little bit confusing, but it's fairly easy to get your head around, and trust me, it does help a ton. Now obviously if you're using your mouse, that'll help your aim, and assuming you don't edit on your mouse, so you don't have Fortnite keybinds which make you edit and do things on your mouse, so usually you'll have a keyboard like letter bind to edit. So for example, mine's G. A lot of people commonly use F, or I know some people use C, I'm pretty sure, or E. I use G. I'm sure a lot of you on this video are using F. You know what, actually comment down below what edit bind are you using in Fortnite. I use G. A lot of people will like seem to hate on that. People like clicks use G. G's a good edit bind. Just thought I'd throw that out there. But yeah, assuming you were editing with your keyboard in Fortnite, so using a letter bind on your keyboard to clarify, that's actually where you can now use OSU to practice editing and timing with edit, and just generally pick up your reaction time and muscle memory on your keyboard for editing, which in turns improves editing. And the way you can do that is OSU gives you the option to either use your mouse, a tablet, which I already spoke about, or you can actually use your keyboard, and usually it'll be like native set to your spacebar, where you hold your spacebar to play the game and like select the dots and make your way through the rhythm game or whatever map you're using. But you can change your bindings and change it to your editing bind, and in that way you're kind of practicing editing in some way like outside of Fortnite, and you can play more intense maps and games and courses. And in turn, if you are to challenge yourself, explore a little bit with an OSU and do some like really high level stuff, I believe that can really help and push your editing ability like even beyond Fortnite. Like your muscle memory and reaction times could improve so much just doing this. And even if they're not to like actually improve, and it isn't to increase, so like what you want is the fastest reaction time, the faster you're reacting to things, the faster you can edit and do things within Fortnite. Like even if OSU isn't generally increasing that, what you're still doing is warming up and revising it. Like if you were to play OSU for like 30 minutes maybe before you hop onto Fortnite, it will really help when you get into the game and you'd be like pre-warmed up in a way. Also, may I just point out once again, like OSU isn't boring as well. Like it's actually a fun game to play. If you like anime, I feel like there's a ton of like anime themed music on there, and yeah, you can play your favorite songs, and it's like a music, again, rhythm game, and you go through to the music, and it's kind of like Guitar Hero. If you guys ever play Guitar Hero, I'm sure a lot of people know what that is. It's a similar like reaction kind of thing, but it's generally not that boring. Like Kovacs, it's very, very boring and just a slow game in like most cases, but OSU is actually a fun way to practice. It really is. And now swiftly moving on, I really did stay on the OSU thing for way too long. I'm sorry guys, I just talk very, very much, and I kind of like explaining things like very thoroughly, so like no questions are left to be asked in the comments or anything like that. But I don't know, hopefully you guys can respect that. But now moving on, this is actually now in game. So assuming you've now practiced within, I guess, OSU, you now want to be doing stuff in game. Now that's where you actually get your best practice within Fortnite. What's a better way to practice than in the game itself, where you actually do have native in-game mechanics and everything is how it should be. So an example for this would be if you're actually aim training outside of Fortnite. So let's say you're using Kovacs maybe to aim train. Even if you are to set in Kovacs your in-game Fortnite sensitivity, no matter what, it'll always be slightly off. And the mechanics and system that Kovacs use for you to actually practice your aim, it's never the same as Fortnite. So there's always going to be like a micro change, and small micro changes like that and imperfections to your sensitivity can really affect your gameplay. And if you're trying to practice on just a slightly different sensitivity, your muscle memory and practice, it will never be fully there. Like you're never going to get the most effective practice out of that. Like you're kind of not wasting your time. Like you're still revising stuff, practicing, and I guess warming up, but it's never going to be exactly accurate. Now that kind of brings me on to what I'm going to talk about now. The best thing to do, yeah, it's to practice in game, and aim training in game, it's a great thing to do. It isn't actually a bad thing. You don't always have to use Kovacs. A lot of pros actually are now not using Kovacs, and they're moving just into game. So they're going on creative maps. That's what I'm about to talk about. Just load into creative and just whack a map in. You can search on YouTube the best creative maps for aim, how to improve aim, la 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 la. I'll literally link some videos down below. I've made a video talking about the best creative warm-up maps, and that is one I really do suggest you watch after this video. It'll tell you all the best aim training maps, editing maps, build practice maps. All of those will be in that one video, so I'm not really going to elaborate and go too in depth on it in this video. But yeah, you want to be practicing in game. A great way to warm up and practice somewhat efficiently outside of like actually in an online game, so you're not exactly challenged by anything, you've got nothing to lose, would be, yeah, just creative. Go on YouTube, find some good creative maps. So let's say you want to practice everything about mechanics, so aim, editing, and building. You can search up the best aim training maps in Fortnite, the best edit practice maps in Fortnite, the best building practice maps in Fortnite. To be honest, for building, there isn't many. I feel like piece control is one you really want to learn. Again, I made a whole video about piece control. I'll literally link that down below. You guys, I got a lot of videos to watch after this. But piece control will be a good one. And outside of piece control for building, I generally would just say 1v1 a lot of people. Like literally just play creative a lot. And this goes for everything. 2 hours of creative a day is a very good thing to do. Like make a schedule and put that in. Like 2 hours of creative a day, it will really help you practice, especially mechanics, or what will be deemed, like a lot of you guys deem mechanics as editing and building. So yeah, if you want to practice your editing and building, play a lot of 1v1s, play a lot of box fights. That really does help. You are versing other people in creative now. That actually is like matchmaking, and you can literally matchmake through the matchmaking hubs that Fortnite do put in. Like maps rotate out, they come in, and usually there's always a zone wars map, and there's also usually box fighting maps. I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying here. And you can go into these box fighting maps, matchmake against real players outside of actual online real games. So you literally have nothing to lose. Like you can't get a bad KD from this or win to loss if any of you guys really care about that. You can't lose arena points this way, nothing like that. And you can play against real players and practice things such as box fights, zone wars. Zone wars is a great one for practicing your building. You can just go over the top, do a ton of edits, builds, and really try and explore and see what works and just revise that stuff and practice it. And that's kind of it for that tip. Like you just want to be practicing a lot. And also isn't just creative. Like when I'm saying practicing and warming up, like creative is warming up. That's what we'd consider creative as. Now the real stuff and the real practice actually comes when you're playing real games. Now that doesn't mean public games. You're never really challenged in a public game. I don't care about like skill-based matchmaking. I don't even think that's a thing anymore. But if it is, it's still not that effective. Like you will still play against drones, AIs, like actual bots, and just generally people that are bad at the game. I recommend you actually play arena, and even arena doesn't always cut it. Like arena is good and all, and you can practice core mechanics within arena because you're practicing literally everything all in one. You have to do a ton of building, editing, aiming, but arena still isn't as competitive as it gets. If you want to be bettering these things and improving your mechanics, you need to be challenging yourself and playing against somewhat better players. That could be maybe playing scrims, playing tournaments. If you don't think you're cut out for tournaments, play them anyway. You don't lose anything for playing them and just giving them a chance, and you can learn so much from that and really put in the work against actual good players who are also there to put in the work in practice. Like who cares if you're not placing? You can still learn a lot just by playing a tournament. It's very much more competitive than arena. You'll have stacked end games, and it's more of just a competitive environment. People are usually there for making money, so they're kind of there to try hard. And if you're playing against tryhards, playing against better players, again, you learn so much. Like even if they're absolutely destroying you, you're learning stuff with that. And now talking about scrims again, a great scrim server I could recommend would be ASAP Scrims. I actually own this scrim server. It's like an attachment to my main Discord. You guys enjoy my main Discord as well? Again, link down below. It's basically just a multi-region scrim server. We have every region in just one big server basically, and we are going to be hosting daily scrims, and you guys can practice within these scrims. They'll be regularly hosted like 24/7 for the most part, and you guys can come into the server every day and get some effective practice and practice your mechanics. And now moving on to what should be the third and final tip or technique I'm going to give you in this video, but now away from actual revising like your mechanics and ways you can do that, like creative maps, maybe using a third-party application such as Osu, which no one really talks about, and again I recommend highly. But one thing you also really need to recommend would be your keybinds. This is another thing that no one really talks about, but for mechanics, I guess aim's a little bit different. I don't think sensitivity wraps into keybinds, does it? I don't think it does, but I'll just mention this quickly now. But also aim, as it's one of the 3 core mechanics, you do want to have a perfect sensitivity. Now I've literally made a video, what a shocker, like bro, I cover everything on my YouTube channel. This is why you need to be subscribed. But I literally covered a video talking about how to find the perfect sensitivity in Fortnite, and I also made a video talking about how you can actually improve your aim in Fortnite, where I dive very in depth into the best ways you can do that. I think I already mentioned something about that at the start of the video, but yeah, I did do that. So sensitivity is one you also want to perfect and find the best sense for your mouse. Like your mouse does tie into it, so yeah, you can watch that video after this one. But keybinds, usually you'd think of keybinds as what you use to, I don't know, edit, pull out your minis, to drink a mini shield, to crouch, to place a cone, to place a floor, to just do all of that stuff. Keybinds are just everything in Fortnite. So what's usually recommended is you have the most optimal keybinds. And now to define the word optimal, basically what it means is best or most favorable. So what you need to find is the best or most favorable keybinds within Fortnite. So a lot of it does come down to opinion. It's morally subjective, but this is another thing I'm not going to go very in-depth on in this video, because another very big surprise, I've actually made a video about optimal keybinds. That'll be another one I'll link down below. But do your research, probably watch that video, and trust me, changing your keybinds if you feel they are maybe holding you back or limiting your performance and progression within the game is possibly the best thing you could do. Now if there's a tournament coming up, for example DreamHack Duos is literally right around the corner. If you guys are playing that, I wouldn't recommend you change your keybinds now, solely because you don't want to be going into that tournament extremely rusty. But then again, you could play the tournament with those keybinds and learn a lot and practice, but then it's your choice. But you kind of want to make money in DreamHack. I'm sure you're playing it in a competitive manner. Like if your keybinds you feel are not so good now, maybe use DreamHack Duos or the next tournament that is coming up as kind of your decider or decision maker as to whether you feel your keybinds are worth changing or limiting you in any way, and maybe let that kind of be your tester or basis to explore and kind of, in some way, you'll probably be VOD reviewing, and if not, make sure you do VOD review your games and kind of find your weaknesses, look what editing binds are holding you back, and yeah, change them. With optimal keybinds, you don't exactly have to change every single bind. You can maybe just change a few, and if you change that bind to what is more favorable, or I guess the better bind to use, more I guess in this case optimal, and then it kind of has a ripple effect and helps out other binds and helps your gameplay in general. That is a great thing to do. And also, change is nice. Having something refreshing, something new you can work towards, and it kind of gives you motivation in a way. You'll be determined and motivated to learn these new keybinds, build that muscle memory, and use all the applications such as Osu, all these warm-up maps you can possibly use, and in the long run it'll be the best decision you make. You'll now have good keybinds, and two of the core mechanics in Fortnite, which is both aiming and building, could potentially improve drastically. And with that all being said, that is all I have in today's video. This video is probably like 15 minutes long. I've talked a ton, I'm losing my voice, guys. I'm literally recording bangers, new videos every single day. I'm grinding content right now. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Mainly it's just practice. If you guys did get this part of the video, I'm surely doing my job right. You've literally watched like the whole thing. The least you can do for me surely is drop a like if you haven't already. Like, maybe you don't want to do that, that's fine with me, but it's very much appreciated. You can also subscribe, post notifications turned on, therefore you never miss an upload on my channel. Also, so I know who's watched this part of the video, who is a loyal viewer or subscriber, comment the word Fxtch down below. I'm starting to wear the nog ups a lot more. It used to be like my main skin. You know, Christmas is right around the corner. Of course, we got Thanksgiving first, I didn't forget that, but Christmas is very, very close. Comment the word festive down below. I just want to see who actually makes it to the end of the video. It'd be nice to see the ratio. But I hope you guys all have an amazing day. Been your boy Fxtch, and yeah, peace.